Hey guys, welcome back to Echocast. This is the official Echocraft podcast. If you're new around here, because I assume there'll probably be some new people around here. We are a bunch of Minecraft YouTubers. We make videos on the same server, kind of like Hermitcraft or any other big SMP you've heard about. And we actually just started Season 5, which means we have a bunch of new people. So I decided to bring them all onto the podcast to introduce themselves and just kind of have some fun. So today we have MagpieCraft, PizzaBuff, and Rabid. Hello guys.
Hi.
Hello.
So might as well introduce yourselves. You know, mother's maiden name. You know, last three numbers on the back of your credit card. That kind of stuff. You know.
Oh dear.
Go ahead. Just I'm just kidding. Yeah, introduce yourselves. How so that people can kind of match names to voices. I was about to say names to faces, but we're all faceless YouTubers, basically. Yeah.
All right, who wants to go first? Okay, go ahead.
I'm MagpieCraft. I started with YouTube the very end December of 2020 and have been putting along ever since. And about a year and a half or so ago, I met Rabid and a really good community of people, and now I'm expanding my community here with Echocraft.
Nice. Yeah, it was super cool that Sassy actually kind of recommended you to Magpie and Rabid. So that's how you guys got on our radar. And so it's kind of cool having that like pre-existing connection, so it's a little less awkward when you get new people. Because I joined the server, I didn't know anybody, so it was super awkward for me.
Yeah. Sass and I actually go way back to one of the first SMPs I ever joined, and him and I just kind of like clicked, and we started doing stuff outside of that. And yeah, he's a really, really good friend. Just like Rabid, we've just got such a good community, and I'm really feeling comfortable and feel like I'm clicking with everybody so far in Echocraft, so it's really fun.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you two that were on day one, that was really fun. I think we connected really well. Pizza, I still don't know you, so you could be, things could be absolutely terrible, but nah. just kidding.
I'm just a terrible person.
We could end up hating you for all we know. Anyway, PizzaBuff, how about you introduce yourself next?
Well, I'm PizzaBuff, as you probably have figured out by now. I am also new to Echocraft, obviously, and I'm also pretty new to YouTube. I've only been on YouTube for about 7-8 months at this point.
Oh wow!
Yeah, but I've enjoyed every minute of it, and I really like just making videos when I can. It's something I do in my free time up until now, at least. And I'm really excited to get to know everyone at Echocraft. I was kind of missing for a week because I was stuck on a boat. But I'm really excited to actually get started.
Nice. All right. And then third, and definitely last but not least, I don't know what I was about to say there. That kind of got messed up in my mind. Anyway, Rabid.
Well, as you know, my name is Rabid. I got that name from whenever I was in the Navy. That was my call sign, was Rabbit. So, yeah, of course, I've been doing YouTube for a couple years now. Yes, I met Sassy and Magpie back, I don't know where, at Daybound. That's where I met them. And yeah, I've been doing YouTube for a while. I finally hit my 1,000 back in February, so awesome for that.
Nice. I'm getting close.
Oh yeah,
So,
I saw you're like 880, something like that.
Something like that, yeah.
So yeah, I'm just here to have fun and to goof off, I guess.
Which makes the best videos in my opinion. like you can plan as much as you want, but like some of the best moments are always just like the unscripted, random just encounters on the server and stuff like that. So anyway,
I agree.
Yeah. So welcome you guys to the server. It's gonna be super fun. Hopefully this season is gonna be, gonna be fun. Gonna have a lot of those random encounters and stuff. So one thing I tend to ask everybody who's the first time they hop onto the podcast is basically, first off, how did you get into Minecraft? And then also, how did you get into YouTube? How did you start YouTube who inspired you or whatever. So let's see. How about we just go in the same order? Magpie, first off, how'd you get into Minecraft? How'd you discover the game itself, and why did it attract you in the first place? And then why'd you start doing YouTube videos?
Well, it all started with my kids, my little ones. They were kind of getting into Minecraft, and I started to play with them. They played a lot of creative, and that was fun. And then after, I don't know, maybe a year of that, I started like all of a sudden one day I hit survival and I was hooked. I was like, this is so much better. But of course, they just wanted like everything available right from the start and to do this and that. And I'm like, so then I started going off on my own. But what we also did together was we watched a lot of like LD Shadow Lady, Smallish Beans. I was really big into CPK and like a lot of those that played together. And I love to watch them. And we also watched a lot of log.zip, who would go over all the mods for Java. And it just, I was like, I need to do that. I am going to do that one day. I am going to have a computer that I can, is strong enough to do all of this. I've got to do it. And so sure enough, in 2020, I was able to make that happen. And then I just kind of like one day hit record and started on this journey. And, in the beginning, I thought, oh, it's got to be just perfect. I can't like use my axe in the wrong way. I can't use like my pickaxe on like to break a leaf. And now I just do whatever. It's so funny how you like grow and learn, and you're like, I feel less stressed now, obviously, because I've been doing it for a little while. But it's been so fun. And I'm still watching LD and all of them. And it's kind of fun to be playing along like they do now. So that's kind of how I got into it and how I got into YouTube.
Well, it's honestly kind of fun watching people like for the first time. Like there's a reason why reaction videos are such a big thing on YouTube. It's because watching people's first interactions and first thoughts of things, whether it's like movies or games or whatever, it's just really interesting for people. And then later on, once you get better at it, then you can look back and just laugh at how terrible you were at the game, or how how just like what all the things you didn't know back then. So it's it's really cool. So I wouldn't worry about being I wouldn't worry about being terrible, especially if you especially early on, if you're saying like, okay, yeah, this is like some of my first experiences with the game, because a lot of people might find that interesting more than annoying.
I was more monotone, and I definitely, like, when I started, I went full-blown modded. Like, I had, like, over 100 mods in my first series.
Oh, wow.
And I just kind of, like, was very noobish as far as to, like, how Minecraft actually worked. And to know the knowledge that I know now from all the people that I've played with, like, I've learned a ton from everybody, but mostly, like, Rabid and Swarmy and a bunch of people that I play with are so in tune to how Minecraft works that I'm just like soaking it all up. And now it's like I feel like I'm actually able to go out and do certain things that I never would have before.
Yeah, that's super cool. All right, so PizzaBuff, how'd you get into Minecraft and YouTube? Those two big questions I like to ask everyone.
Well, YouTube's pretty easy for me. I've just been watching YouTube for so many years. I've basically just kind of absorbed a ton of information, and I'm just kind of using it all to my advantage here, creating my own content, because I've just learned so much from watching a bunch of other people. The earliest were probably like Stampy Longnose, Dan to DM.
Oh, nice! You're another Stampy fan. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. A lot of OG Minecrafters, and then it kind of switched over to mostly Hermitcraft and a lot of other related groups of content creators. And I've just watched so much Minecraft YouTube over the years that I've just been able to absorb a bunch of information from it and put it to the test on my own channel. Minecraft, it's a little hard to pinpoint exactly when I started, because it was like almost a decade ago. It's been a
Oh
while.
wow, okay.
I've been playing Minecraft for many, many years. I'm gonna say the earliest was probably like 8 years ago, maybe 8 or 9 years ago. Um, and I think I probably got it from one of my real life friends, and I first got it on PlayStation 3. Played that for a while. Eventually got Java Minecraft for a programming software that I wanted to try out, and then immediately stopped programming because I hated it, and I just kept playing Java Minecraft. Um, so yeah, I mean that's kind of where I'm at with Minecraft. I'm mostly a builder. That's usually what I like to do in my videos, but I can do other stuff too. Um, but yeah, that's pretty much it.
Nice. Stampy and Squid were like the first guys I watched. My sister's friend had like shown her the submarine video like way back when, and so we started watching him. That was super cool. Yeah, I've been playing Minecraft about the same amount of time. I actually went back and looked at like when I made my account so I could remember, and it's June 2014. So almost 10 years now. So we started around the same time. Although I didn't play console edition first, even though I do have a lot of nostalgia about the console edition because that was the first one I was really exposed to, with Stampy and Squid, and then I ended up later getting the Nintendo Switch console version before it got delisted in favor of Bedrock, and so now we got both, which is fun. So yeah, I really want to go back and do some sort of console edition videos sometime. I feel like that could be interesting, especially now that it's been gone for a few years, and a lot of people might find that nostalgic. Is like, oh, I forgot this version existed, or it's this version is super underrated or whatever. And so I wonder if people are for a while it was like, oh, if you're not playing Java edition, you're not playing real Minecraft, but now it's and so console editions were, I feel like console edition videos just kind of didn't do as well, and I still don't think they probably do as well these days, but I think there'd probably be more of an audience for them now than there was a while ago for general audiences that maybe got exposed to console edition and kind of have fond memories of it, but still were more of a Java edition player. Yeah, the console edition was just not so nice and polished. I could rant about it all day and talk about how much I hate Bedrock, but anyway, we need to go on with this podcast. Rabbit,
I started on console as well, and I did love it, but now I love Java more.
I've never played console.
See, Java Edition is objectively the better game. It's got more options. It's I mean, performance wise, probably the console edition probably beats it out. Bedrock beats it out performance wise. Java Edition's got some issues there. But like when it comes to options and stuff like that, Java Edition's obviously like the better, like the flagship version, but console edition's just so nice and polished, and it's got I love the I don't know what kind of color lighting engine they used in console edition, but it just feels nicer. It feels softer, like all the lighting and the colors and stuff, and it feels more like a cartoon world than Java's more kind of. I don't know. I don't know if I want to say gritty. I don't think I'd call Java Edition gritty or Minecraft gritty at all, unless you're talking about like horror maps or whatever. But you kind of know what I mean. It's a little bit darker, a little bit more immersive, I guess, if you want to say that. But console edition just feels almost like a storybook or something like that, and it's so nice. Anyway, again, probably should stop ranting about this. Rabbit, how'd you get into Minecraft and YouTube?
Well, I started playing Minecraft back in probably around June of 2013 ish. I was just got back from my last deployment, and I was just looking for something to do, and I found this random game, so I was like, oh, let me try that. So I downloaded the free version, which lets you play for, I think,
100 minutes.
Yeah, so many. It's like an hour or two, and
yeah.
I died so many times because when it got night, it was pitch black, and I'm like, what's hitting me? I'm dying. So I started playing that just in my off time, and of course I started watching some YouTube videos to figure out how do you play this game, and I just got hooked on. So come a little bit longer. I got it for my kids, and totally lost my train of thought. I got it for my kids, and they started playing, even though they were like 4 and stuff like that, 5.
Yeah.
And they just like to, run around and kill sheep and stuff, whatever. So I started a server for my kids and my sister's kids, and then of course some other kids that they knew, just a family server. And I work nights. I still work nights, but so I would do a lot of building, and I build a farm in the middle of the night, and the kids would get up in the morning. They didn't know how to work the farm or where the farm was. So I would make a short YouTube video just for them. And I posted it up, and I was like, oh, let me, hey guys, you go over here and you click this note block and it'll start doing it or whatever. And all of a sudden, I had 12 subscribers. I had 12 subscribers for like a year. It was just my family. And then all of a sudden I started getting more subscribers. Some other people started watching my videos. I'm like, why would people watch these videos? They're really bad. I didn't put any, there's no music, there's no nothing. It was just standard, just me talking and showing them how to work the farm. And it jumped up to, I got like 57. I was like, oh, maybe this could do something. So let me put a little bit more effort into it. And that little bit of effort, I mean, it still was, oh my gosh, you look at those videos now, they're not very good. I've taken some of them down, but yeah, then it started growing and growing and growing, and I made an iron farm video that took off, and I got a whole bunch of subscribers from that. And yeah, that's how it's been going.
Just kept making iron farm videos. Just
Yes, that's like, I guess that's my thing. I guess iron farm videos.
Nice.
Each update, I do the same sort of farm, but just update it a little bit differently. In case somebody wants a redstone one or a non-redstone one or a stacking one.
Yeah. I got introduced to farms probably through Hermitcraft. Obviously there was like, everyone makes a mob farm at some point. So like I kind of knew that. I kind of knew how to make, water trails and stuff to funnel mobs through. But other than that, like it wasn't, I didn't realize redstone farms could be so OP until I found Hermitcraft. Back in like season 6, and I started watching and was like, oh wow, these guys, you can make farms for like so many different items and just blocks and stuff. It almost felt a little cheaty. And then as I kept watching, I was like, you know what, it takes skill to build these things, and especially if you're doing bigger projects. Like, for me, I was never too much of a builder. I was more of like a general survival player and just like jack of all trades, master of none type thing. I just did whatever the heck I wanted. But then as I started becoming more of a builder, as I started doing more YouTube videos on Minecraft, I realized like, oh, these kind of farms are kind of essential if you want to do big projects. So yeah, I've definitely warmed up to them. But it's still insane. Like day one we had an iron farm and a villager breeder and all that kind of stuff. Is like, okay, maybe slow down just a little bit, But overall, it's I really like it. I really like the idea. I really want to do a bunch of farms this season because I've always been interested in redstone, and I've always like designed redstone farms like in a creative world, like planning to use them in a survival world at some point, and then just never doing them. So I've like a lot of designs of farms I've created that I've never been in a video that I really want to do in a survival world sometime. Speaking of redstone, yeah. So Rabid, you're pretty good with redstone. Then how about you, Magpie? Do you do much with it, or are you more of just a builder?
No.
No.
No. So basically, what you see on screen is what I am in real life, pretty much, and I am just a lover of all things shiny, glittery, and pretty, and that's kind of my thing. I'm a builder. I like to build. I have messed around with redstone and done some farms, but it's not really the thing that brings me joy. And when you play with people like Rabid and others that are so into it and just do it so good and it does bring them joy, it's like, you just go for it. You go for it and I will, bring you
Everyone plays their
materials. I will
strengths.
help. Yeah. And, then like Rabid will say, hey, Magpie, can you help me decorate the inside of this? Or can you help me with this? And it's like, sure. Yeah. We just give and take and all that. But I mean, I'm not anti-redstone. I'm just not good at it. So, yeah.
Yeah, I'd say I'm like intermediate. I don't understand like advanced redstone all that much. I don't understand. I barely know how comparators work. I feel like that's just anyone though. Everyone barely understands how comparators work. But like I can like I said, I can create farms. I know how to do, hopper clocks and piston extenders and stuff like that. But Doc M77 type stuff is like, okay, you do you.
He's a whole nother level.
Yeah, or like rails. Seeing rails in redstone just kind of blows my mind a little bit, especially once they start moving and twisting in ways that rails aren't supposed to move and twist in. It's like, okay, yeah, you're doing stuff. Once they start doing stuff with like outside of redstone mechanics, once they start throwing in like game bugs and like random little things that happen with different items, that's what gets like kind of confusing for me. I do know a few tricks and stuff with that kind of stuff, but
it's sort of like
the
what
fact
is
that
this magic?
Yeah, like path blocks, since they aren't a full block, you can basically turn the redstone on and off that way by like hoeing a block or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like simpler things like that, but messing around with like instant redstone paths and stuff like that, it's like, okay.
Well, like on
I'll
Rabid's
stay here, yeah. Or decoders and
application
stuff like that.
video, just throwing water at something or throwing this and then touch. I'm like, what did he? Wait, what? Let's rewind that. What did he just do?
Yeah.
That's just an observer watching the campfire, so state change.
Yeah, it was like, huh? Yeah, didn't you put a fire out or something and it opened a door? I was like, what?
Yeah. Yeah, if you check out my 10 secret ways to open a hidden door video.
Oh yeah,
Shameless plug.
I need to watch that. I need to watch that.
Observers are
I use those
whack.
for traps.
I remember seeing the reveal at Minecon for observers back in, it was like 1.12. So they also added like shulker boxes and stuff, and I remember it felt like a mod. I remember seeing like, okay, shulker boxes, observers, totem of undying, like all this kind of stuff. I was like, this feels modded almost. And the observers definitely didn't. It didn't really click how powerful they could be. Like in the trailer, they were just like, oh, it tells you when your melon just grew and it sets off a firework. But now people are using them like crazy. Like observers are in everything now. Like a lot of redstone barely uses any actual redstone dust anymore, which is super interesting. I remember when things were simpler and you actually had to put dust on the ground and do stuff like that.
Well, we
I
always
learned
had
recently
observers.
Yeah.
We just have a block update where you change a state of a block, use quasi-connectivity to keep that state changed, so you can just change that whenever it changes that state. It will update.
Mm-hmm.
I remember learning recently that cake can be used as a redstone component, and I thought that was just everything.
How just like bundling it with the observers and doing them that way, or it's another
It
way?
actually doesn't. I think it has. I'm trying to remember exactly how it works, but I think it has like, what is it called? Like up to so many.
Yeah, each level that's eaten
Level.
will put out a different power level out of the comparator.
Power level.
What?
That's it. I think that's what I was trying to say. Yeah.
Wait, what?
Yeah. Or you could put it on an observer, and every time you eat it, it'll give you a pulse.
Okay,
That
well,
way
yeah, I
also.
knew that, but like but cakes give out redstone pulses to comparators
Yeah, redstone signal levels.
or signals. That okay.
Same with a composter. By what level it is, full.
Okay,
it'll give
I
you
knew
a redstone signal out.
Does that
composters.
mean you could use beehives?
Yep, same
Yeah,
thing.
yeah. Like I knew container type blocks with like composters, beehives, stuff like that could do that. But I didn't realize cake kind of counted as one because yeah, it has different levels of states that you can. Huh. Wow.
And a comparator can read it through a block. So
That's
if
the
you want to
fun thing with Minecraft.
make a trap. Just saying.
Just saying. Yeah, with Minecraft, you learn something new every day, and I think that's something really amazing about it.
Yeah, you can, and there's so many ways to play it. Like you can, you can just stick with building. You can stick with survival, like speedrunning. Speedrunning is a huge thing, and yeah, there's just like so many different ways to play. So if you're bored playing Minecraft, just like find a different aspect of Minecraft that you find interesting and play around with that. And you can, if you haven't used redstone like at all before, if you've only used it, to do a wheat farm or something like that. I don't know. Wheat farms, to turn a light on and off, stuff like that. You can do some interesting stuff. Or if you're tired of building, then do more survival stuff. Maybe try some PvP servers or speed running and stuff like that.
Yeah, I tried speedrunning once. Took me like a day.
I will pick it up once every other year or something like that and just try it. It's like, nope, this isn't for me. I don't like being stressed while playing Minecraft unless I'm, playing PvP or something like that. But at that point, I'm getting into it more, knowing I'm like, okay, I'm going to fight some people. I'm going to die. Speedrunning, I just kind of want to be perfect at it. And so and it takes so long to learn. Like, the ironic thing about speedrunning is it takes so long to do and to perfect. And so, like, individual runs can go really fast, but it takes you tons and tons and tons of tries to actually get to those fast runs. It feels like one of the longest, most annoying things to get good at in the game, in my opinion.
I don't think I could do speedrunning.
There's like
once.
there's so many little things you have to learn. Like there's, you have to learn like how the world generates, which that's easy enough. But like, like you could track down buried treasure chests like without a map just by using like coordinates and looking at the F3 screen. You look at the F3 screen a lot these days, like trying to find where entities are, and it's just like, okay, I don't want to learn all these button combinations. I want to have to bother with this. I'll just stick with survival building and
Yeah.
dabbling in creative here and there, mainly for planning a survival build.
I have a feeling a lot of people would just be screaming at the screen like, Magpie, no, that's not what you do. Yeah, I don't think it would be good.
Yeah. And I know there's some people who stick like exclusively with creative, which I'll do that sometimes, but like for the most part, I really prefer survival. I really like you can do bigger, grander things in creative mode, and they'll probably look cooler. But like, I feel like for me, it's more of an achievement when you build it in survival mode. But I can get the appeal. It's just it's just not something I really go for normally.
Yeah, I even do my tutorials, if I do any, in survival. I like to do it like to show people exactly how it is in survival, how I got this piece, how I did that. And it's only for simple things. Like obviously when you're doing a massive tutorial, you kind of having it in creative is better, I think. But when I'm doing just a basic, like how to set up a vanilla, villager breeder, this is how fast and quick it is in real time. And I think sometimes it's good. I'm not good with creative. I actually get motion sick if I build in creative. So I prefer survival solely, mostly.
My mom gets motion sick just in general watching us play the game. I don't know if it's different like watching someone else than playing it yourself. But yeah, for some reason, like first person games just kind of make her a little motion sick, so she doesn't. Yeah, she doesn't like us, like watching us do it very often.
Yeah, my kids are they're crazy with the mouse, left and right and up and down all over the place. I'm like, slow it down, slow it down. I was like that at first, I think, because when you're watching it yourself, you can keep track, but then when you're trying to do it for a YouTube video, you gotta try and slow it down a little bit, slow down your movements, make them a little bit more calm, so it's not a blur fest when somebody's trying to watch it.
Yeah, I wonder, like, I wonder if it makes people motion sick when people cut videos. I wonder if people just might have gotten used to it, but you know, for the longest time, like a Let's Play video was 20 minutes straight recorded. You faded in and out at the beginning and end, and maybe put in some music, but overall that was basically it. But now, like, you know, now cuts, editing is so much more in what's the word? Like
Fancy.
Yeah, fancy, or so much more important. Like, you know, it will take me, you know, maybe 4 hours to record a video, and then on top of like behind the scenes planning and off camera building when I'm doing like a time lapse, stuff like that, and then I'll, you know, crop it into a 20, maybe 30, maybe 40 if it's super long video, and that's just like become the norm. When for a while it was yeah, you didn't cut basically anything, and if you did, you had to like say, oh hey, I'm gonna crop this out, or you have kind of was like, oh yeah, that happened. You kind of mention it in the video because it's abnormal, you know. It's just
I'm trying to get away from that old method. I'm trying
it's
to
just
add,
kind of interesting.
I'm trying to add the cuts, make it cool.
Yeah, I'm like somewhere in the middle. I really like the, you know, like the Hermitcraft style of editing. Like, it still feels like a Let's Play, but you can do bigger things with more time, so you can, like, you know, you can do that kind of stuff. I'm not a fan of. I mean, I like watching other people's, you know, fast-paced, super graphical, you know, editing, but I don't like doing that myself. I do like the chiller style of a video, and a lot of people do too. Like, I for the longest time, it almost felt like, you know, the faster you're editing, like the better it'll do on YouTube, and like doing a slower paced Let's Play is just it's just gonna kill your channel. But I joined Echocraft, and like all the comments were like, "Oh, I love your style. I love your, you know, your Let's Play style. I love the everything." Yeah, it was a nice little vote of confidence. That's like, okay, there's an audience for this kind of stuff.
My first Echocraft, I tried putting a little bit of those fast cuts in there whenever I was building that iron farm, because I didn't want to spend 20 minutes showing you building a quick little iron farm. So I tried to chop it down to like 2 or 3 minutes or so.
Yeah, and I'll do that too for the most part. I'll kind of alternate between doing like a full-blown time lapse when I'm building, and then like kind of explaining as I'm going along my thought process. I've kind of been doing that second one more often because I just feel like it can be really interesting seeing people build, and like why they choose different styles or stuff like that. Like, if you watch Mumbo Jumbo's videos, like most of the time, the first half of his video was basically like designing, like he'll be in creative and just like designing things, and then just like explaining every step of the way, and then just building it on the server in a time lapse. And I'm like, I couldn't do that. I design everything off camera and then build it. Like for the longest time, I'll design something off camera and then build it in a time lapse, and then maybe mention some of the highlights afterward. But I want to be a little bit better at like explaining the process of building. You know, I don't know if that makes any sense at all, but
Yeah, it does. It does.
yeah, all right.
Yeah,
Anyway.
I don't plan anything out. I wing it. I wing it in survival.
I'm not confident enough to wing most things. I was gonna wing my starter base for this season, but then I just didn't have any ideas. It's like, okay, I'm just gonna build in creative mode. Last season I had an idea and I kind of winged the actual building process, which worked out decent. I ended up going back later on, like multiple times in the season, to tweak things and add things and make it better. But for the most part, I did wing the majority of the base. Anyway, how about we just talk about some other games? We've been talking like about Minecraft the whole time, but um, it's often like the best podcasts are the ones where we just go off about other stuff we enjoy, about movies and games and stuff. So yeah, what kind of stuff do you guys enjoy outside of Minecraft?
There's an outside of Minecraft.
Yeah. Is there? I don't know. I love anything Marvel, Avengers, Lego, Harry Potter, Star Wars, Star Trek, that kind of stuff. Lord of the Rings, Hobbit. That's me. I watch
Nice.
those movies over and over and over again. But yeah, I also used to play Call of Duty a lot and had a lot of fun with that. I don't really enjoy it anymore where the game is gone. But I don't know. My thing has always been like the Lego games. I play Fortnite. I do play Fortnite. I don't record it. I've thought about it, but I'm just not sure I want to go down that route because I've already got a lot with Minecraft. But I do enjoy Fortnite a lot.
My brother started
yeah.
playing Fortnite, and then I picked it up to join him, but I don't really play it on my own at all.
Yeah.
But it's fun. I for the longest time, it was like the cringe thing to do was was play Fortnite,
Yeah.
and so for the longest time I just didn't do it almost
Same,
exclusively for that
same.
reason. And then I started playing with my brothers. Like, okay, this is actually a fun game. I can see it, like it's more the community around the game that is not great, than the game
Yeah.
itself.
Yeah,
But
there's some fun stuff with it, but yeah, I don't play it often.
yeah, you like a lot of the same stuff I like. I mean, you mentioned Star Trek. I'm not a Star Trek guy, but basically everything else: Lord of the Rings, Harry Potter, Star Wars, Marvel, all that kind of stuff. That's the kind of stuff I'm into.
Yeah, I used to love Next Generation of Star Trek, but I especially love the newer movies that they've done with Chris Pine and all. Oh my goodness, I love those movies. They're
He's
so
so
good.
dreamy.
Yeah, there's that. But also like Simon Pegg in it and all. Oh my gosh. They just nailed the characters so good. And the comedy and just all the things in it, the action and everything, I really do love them.
Which one is Patrick Stewart? Is that Next Generation?
Yeah, he was in Next Generation, yep.
All right, so he's not in the movies or anything.
Didn't he do, am I going to give a spoiler? Wasn't he in a cameo in one of the newer ones? I might be
I
thinking of
don't know. I don't know anything about.
thing. Yeah. I haven't seen, I think, one or two of their most recent, and I'm not sure if the one that I didn't see was a part of the same franchise or if it was like a spin-off of one of the older movies.
So I think if I were to watch Star Trek, it'd probably be the Patrick Stewart stuff.
Yeah.
Because he's just a super cool actor.
Yeah.
Same with like X-Men. I've watched like all the MCU stuff and all like the Sam Raimi and like Andrew Garfield, like Spider-Man. Like I've watched basically, yeah, I've watched a lot of Marvel stuff, but I haven't touched X-Men at all. And I feel like the only reason I probably would again probably be because of like Patrick Stewart and Ian McKellen and and
Hugh
Hugh
Jackman.
Jackman. Yeah.
Halle Berry.
Aren't they
Yeah, they've got a lot of good ones.
Aren't they rebooting Marvel in the MCU universe? Or gonna redo everything?
Yeah, so Disney just got the rights to the X-Men, and so they're bringing X-Men. Oh, and Fantastic Four, like a lot of the stuff they didn't have access to. They're bringing them into the MCU. So Deadpool 3 is gonna be in the MCU and they're bringing Hugh Jackman back for that. And then they announced like a Fantastic Four movie, and I don't know, besides Wolverine and Deadpool, I don't know if they're gonna bring. I mean, they're obviously gonna bring X-Men stuff into the MCU at some point, but I don't know if they've announced any plans besides Wolverine and Deadpool.
Yeah, I've seen a good bit of the X-Men movies. I wouldn't say they're my favorite, but I do like them.
I've heard they're very, very hit or miss.
Yeah.
Yeah,
There's a
we
lot of
just-
good actors, but some of the stuff in the movies, it's like,
Yeah, we just rewatched it all with my kids from the beginning, and the continuity is horrible. When you watch them back to back to back to back, you're like, oh, this is bad.
Yeah.
But I remember them being great when I was growing up.
Oh, they did bring the Quicksilver actor back for WandaVision.
Yeah,
oh,
And
that was
kind of
pretty funny.
but then just like
WandaVision
flipped
was
it on
good.
its head. Yeah, I liked WandaVision. I've been catching up on Phase 4 for a while. I was just not super into it. But I've been getting into it recently. So I've been watching back. I just finished What If. What If was interesting. I kind of liked it, except for like the Thor episode. The Thor episode was weird. I didn't enjoy it all that much. Have you guys seen What If?
Yeah.
no.
What? I thought you said you were a
What?
Marvel fan.
But wait, I just recently saw the holiday special, which I thought was amazing. But I didn't know there was a What If. What is that?
Yeah, so it's an animated series, 3D animated series based on like alternate realities of the MCU. It's like, what if Peggy got the super soldier serum instead of Steve, and so she becomes Captain Carter and fights for like the UK and stuff, and goes under the ice. Actually, she doesn't go under the ice. She ends up getting like teleported using the space stone. There's some like weird, wacky stuff in there, which is super interesting. And like, what if Doctor Strange got turned evil based on his powers and stuff like that? What if T'Challa got kidnapped instead of
Star-Lord,
Peter
yeah.
and became Star-Lord? A lot of stuff like that. So a lot of them are super interesting, and it basically culminates in this multiversal battle between all the different one-off episodes, like T'Challa, Star-Lord, and Captain Carter and stuff like that, against Ultron if he became if
Gained
they didn't
stones.
if Ultron got the stones, basically, and he becomes so powerful that he starts going through different multiverses, different universes, trying to eliminate everyone in his idea of peace. So it's like, it's really interesting.
It sounds really cool.
Yeah. But there's one episode where it's, what if Thor was an only child? What if Loki was returned to the ice giants instead of kept by Odin? And it's basically, he's just basically like a party guy the whole time. Like it's wacky. It's weird. I wasn't a huge fan of it.
The whole Loki,
it's really hard
Thor,
to explain.
like that whole thing is just, it's a beautiful thing. You need that in the Marvel universe. I mean, just the way that they get on together and their banter, back and forth as brothers. It's really good.
Yeah.
I wouldn't like that gone.
Well, in that episode, Loki is actually the Asgard and the Frost Giants are actually like allies, and so Loki and Thor are still like best friends and don't have like the same sibling rivalry. But Loki's a Frost Giant, so he's like 12 foot tall and blue. and he and Thor are just like best buds. It's kind of weird seeing. Yeah, it's a weird episode. It's hard to explain. You'll have to watch it and tell me what you think, because that was like the one episode that just didn't do it for me. With What If, but everything else was super cool.
I'm back.
Welcome back.
Oh, you were gone?
We had, yeah, we had to release some fish into the pond. I couldn't avoid it.
I was gonna say, is pizza here?
I messaged in general.
Oh, you did. Be
Probably
back in 10-ish minutes. Oh, okay. Anyway, we're talking about Marvel stuff.
What if? Yeah.
Yeah.
Love What If. What If
Yeah.
is so much fun.
What do you think of the Thor episode? The
Thor
the
episode?
The party Thor episode.
I don't know. I think it was probably my least favorite. I like the character of Party Thor, but I feel like the overall storyline of the episode was a little bit,
Yeah.
a little bit of a miss. The rest of them, though, I really liked.
It felt like cheesy to me in a way.
Yeah.
Like it was weird.
I suppose that's kind of the point of What If, though. You can kind of do whatever you want with it, and it's still like okay.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's like they've got so many like darker episodes. They're like, okay, what if the Avengers all got killed, and like what if Killmonger infiltrated, infiltrated Shield and stuff like that, and killed Tony Stark and all this kind of stuff. And it's like, what if Doctor Strange got evil? And then it's like Party Thor.
Yeah, it's just like,
gets
what
in
if Thor was
gets
a
in
drunk?
trouble with his mom. Yeah. It was like, okay, that one didn't quite do it for me, but the rest of them were super cool. I really liked Spider-Man in the Zombies episode. Like, I feel like the writing for him was so good. Like, the comedy was just top notch.
Yeah.
Like
he felt out of place in that episode too. Like he was still trying to be funny, but everyone was just like, okay, this is not the time to be funny.
I don't
and
think he
just
was
felt
out of
so
place
bad.
though. I don't think he was.
He wasn't like out of place in
because
the show.
Because like the whole thing was that they explained in the episode that he's, a lot of the way he copes is with like humor and stuff, and he's.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just like, I've been watching a lot of videos about the Spider-Man in the comics. I watched Across the Spider-Verse and like just really wanted to get into the Spider-Man comics, and so I've been watching a lot of videos about like what makes Spider-Man, like what is his character, what are the most important parts, and a lot of that is like, yeah, he never gives up. He's, he tries to find humor in the darkest times and stuff like that. And I think the Zombies episode did that so well.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, we just talk about just random stuff that we like outside of Minecraft. So, anything you got to bring to the table?
I've got plenty to bring to the table. I don't know what you talked about yet, though. Have you talked about Star Trek? Is anyone into Star Trek?
We did talk about Star Trek. Yeah.
Okay. Star Wars.
Magpie mentioned it, but we haven't talked too much about it.
Yeah. I am excited for the. Have you seen the trailer for Star Wars Outlaws? I think it's Star Wars Outlaws.
Oh yeah, I saw that. Yeah, the video game that looks super interesting.
Yeah. I'm cautiously optimistic for that because like it looks awesome, but also it's a Ubisoft game, so.
Yeah, it's the first game outside of the EA like monopoly on Star Wars games.
Yeah.
And so it's gonna give us a good idea of what the future of Star Wars games are gonna be, and yeah, it's gonna be interesting. Oh wait, I just realized, does that mean Star Wars Jedi Survivor is not gonna get a sequel because EA is not gonna be doing it, or?
Well, EA could still work on Star Wars games. They just don't have a monopoly on it anymore.
Okay, I just don't know how the deals work because
they can still make games, but the contract with them was like they were the only one who could make games for like 10 years or something.
Okay, yeah. I know they're making another Star Wars FPS game, which is going to be super cool, especially if it can dethrone Battlefront 2 as like people's favorite Battlefront game, then. That'll be super cool because Battlefront 2 is, I really like it. I know it had a rocky launch history, but I didn't get into the game until like after it actually gotten discontinued. Like we got it like on sale for like $3 or something like that on Epic Games. And so my first experiences with Battlefront were the endpoint polished, best Star Wars game type Battlefront. So I am just super excited to see another one because like I didn't get to have like the experience of seeing the game be supported and being excited for new characters and stuff like that.
Yeah, hopefully it'll be hopefully those next couple upcoming Star Wars games will be pretty good. I feel like if Disney keeps promoting stuff that's Star Wars that's like good but also not great, I feel like it might fall out of favor a little bit. I don't know. It's been kind of rough the last couple of years.
Yeah. Star Wars has been so hit and miss since
Like
since
there's
Disney
been some
bought it.
really awesome stuff. Like Andor was probably some of my favorite
Andor is so good, yeah.
content
And like even
years,
Men,
but
I know a lot of people like Mando season 3 just like really killed people's excitement for Star Wars in general because Mando was like the one thing that was keeping Disney Star Wars alive. It was like everyone could always be excited for Mando, and then season 3 disappointed a lot of people, and now we're like, okay, nothing's untouchable, you know, except Andor, I guess. And I know they were actually talking about doing a bunch of seasons of Andor, but oh, what's his name? Dang it, I forgot the actor's name. Don't.
yeah, I can't remember it either. Doesn't matter.
Oh,
The
no.
Andor actor.
Yeah. Oh man, that's gonna annoy me. Oh, Diego Luna, I think is that another actor or am I?
I don't know.
That might. It's like another Spanish actor maybe. Anyway, Andor. Yeah. So people were so the executives were wanting to do a long running series, but he actually he kind of refused to come unless it was going to be 2 seasons. He didn't want it to be overdone, and so it's going to be 2 seasons, and that's it. Which is going to be good because it means they're not going to overdo it. They're not going to. It's not going to overstay its welcome. It's just going to be 2 seasons, and they're going to end it, and it's hopefully going to be super good. It's just as good as season 1 was.
Hopefully it'll be an actually like good ending instead of something they milk for all it's worth.
Mm-hmm. I'm looking forward to them introducing K2 in season 2.
Yes, I love K2. K2 is my favorite character from Rogue One.
Yeah, he was supposed to be in season 1, but I guess I don't know if it was the writers thought it wasn't a great time to bring him in. Which honestly, I'm kind of glad he wasn't in season 1 because it definitely wouldn't have fit the tone. But I feel like season 2 could, as they're kind of making Andor a slightly more optimistic person, or not too optimistic because obviously we know how he is in Rogue One, but like, adding K2 is kind of a catalyst for his character to grow into what he becomes by the end of Rogue One. I feel like that could be super interesting. But yeah, I guess we'll also have to wait and see. I don't think they have a release date for Andor season 2 yet. But Ahsoka's coming out soon, like 2 months.
Yeah.
So that's exciting. And they still are refusing to give us anything related to the Thrawn. We got one shot from the back and a name drop and Heir to the Empire, and that's it.
Just want to say Thrawn, Disney.
I although to be fair, it is 2 months away, so it's starting to get closer, which is making me think, okay, I almost want them not to show us anything until the series, and so that we can actually, so the reveal in the series is much more exciting,
Yeah.
Because there's one leaked image from Star Wars Celebration of Thrawn coming down from the ramp of a shuttle, but it's like super low quality. So I would be fine if that was like the only thing we get. If they do end up releasing that extended trailer and like on YouTube, I'd be fine if that 2-second shot of him coming down the ramp would be the only thing we get of Thrawn. Anyway, Rabid, what about you? Do you got anything you're interested in outside of Minecraft, or you just?
Well, yeah. So we live on a large pizza property out here in Texas. So I do homesteading sort of things. Like we plant crops and We have, well, our horse just died.
Oh,
Weird. It just, out of the blue, it just came home. I was like, oh, the horse is dead in the pasture. So we had to bury a horse. You know how hard it is to bury a horse?
We buried our
Yeah.
cat once.
Same thing. But so yeah, I mean, I actually had another YouTube channel which I was just doing the homesteading stuff on it. So, but
that's interesting.
I mean, it doesn't have very many subscribers. And I haven't uploaded anything like a year and a half on it because I was concentrating more on Minecraft because I was actually growing. But so I do a lot of that. I've been like hunting, fishing, planting, fixing things, all sorts of stuff like that. And of course, I do all the nerd things too, like Star Trek, Star Wars, and Marvel, all that stuff.
Nice.
So I do a lot of stuff. I don't sleep.
Oh man, yeah, I bet. Yeah, I wouldn't be able to be a farm guy. I just don't have the patience or the motivation to do stuff like that. Yeah, no way. No way for me. Although I do appreciate those people who do take care of that kind of stuff and support the economy that way and actually provide things that people can eat. That's a big thing.
It's all for us.
I like being able to
We
eat.
don't do it for other people. I actually work also. I'm an engineer also. So I have 3 jobs.
Yeesh. I don't envy you at all.
So yeah, I work.
Never sleeps.
Yeah, I work 10-hour days. Well, with
jeez.
driving in and out of town, it's closer to 11. And then I come home and I gotta, put some siding on the barn or gotta fix the tractor. And then come inside once it gets dark and I'm like, okay, let's record some videos and edit. Oh, the editing is the worst, I tell you.
Yeah.
I helped paint a chicken coop once, like a big walk-in chicken coop. And there was a bunch of wasp nests. Like I think we counted like 12. And so we just like went in and we ended up using like a whole can of like wasp spray, just like taking out all the different nests. It was insane. It's like we found one because we were painting up in the corner. It was like, oh, there's a wasp nest. We should probably get some spray. And then we saw another one, and then we saw another one, and then we just went through. It was like, oh gosh. I was genuinely surprised that we hadn't angered them yet because we were working on that thing probably an hour and a half by that point. And I'm surprised we just didn't manage to annoy any of them enough yet.
All right, I gotta go prepare to go to work. Sorry, I missed like half of it, but
no, it's fine. Yeah, that's probably a good time to stop anyway. So, yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. Hope you guys are looking forward to seeing these new guys on the server, and I hope you new guys. I like trying to talk to the audience, and then also you three is kind of hard sometimes to specify. But anyway, hope you guys are looking forward to being on the server, and hope everyone else is looking forward to watching you guys on the server. From what I've seen, you guys have got some great videos, and you got great personalities. So, yeah, with that, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you, or talk to you? I still don't know how to say that. In the next one. Bye.
Bye. Thank you.